looked around for someone that could play drums. John had a drum kit, so he was automatically in. We had this bass player who was deaf in one ear, so he had to stand sort of this side, otherwise he couldn't hear what was happening. We called him Deafy, not a very nice nickname, but that was before Martin came, and we had to have him because he had a PA. And Tony was looking around for a singer, and Tony said very brashly, and I always remember it, "I'll sing for you. I've got a good voice," you know. I thought, okay, you know, he's got some confidence at least, so there he was.
You wanted to be a musician?
Yeah, I mean, we just sort of played together for just a little bit of music experience, and not knowing anything would come out of it.
We were the band, beside the Stones you were listening to.
Depends on your mood, you know, if you're feeling lively, then you put on Led Zeppelin. If you want to sort of have dinner in a romantic setting, then you put on a bit of Vivaldi.
How do you felt at the time, all this process?
Yeah, I look back on it now, it's very hard to sort of relate what it was like, because we've never sort of had a chance to think, have a break and think, well, what was it really like? You know, we've all been wrapped up in what's been going on. But I remember, I look back on it now with nostalgia. If I play the first album, it was bad, not terribly bad production, but it was very dated production. And I get a little bit of a move inside, you know, I think, oh yeah, I remember when we did that. And visions of Tony trying to do a vocal part, laying on his back in the studio with a carpet over him to get a good sound, you know, we're just experimenting. Now that's ludicrous, you know, you don't need to do things like that. But of course the equipment's got a lot better nowadays. So a lot of it I look back on with nostalgia, naivety and innocence, and how innocent and young we were.
And you lose this kind of naivety?
Well, you obviously get more experience that you're playing in the studio and, you know, playing your instruments. So you tend to lose a little bit of that, and I think you lose a lot of that initial sort of buzz, because all you want to do in the beginning is get on stage and play music. Now you have to sort of be a bit more aware of the business side of it, which is a shame, and I try to keep away from it as much as possible. Gary gets involved in it, so at least there's someone from the band who's sort of overseeing, making sure we're not getting ripped off. But I'll just plod along, and as long as there's someone there that can sort it out for me, I don't mind. You know, I just want to play music, as simple as that.
It's music. You started professionally in guitar, and after you had sax. And the band grew up musically, and you had to grow up musically too. It was a difficult process.
No, I've always been a bit bored very easily. You know, sort of, my life is full of half-read magazines and projects that I've thought, oh, great, you know, I'd like to get into that. So I'll go and buy all the equipment necessary, and I'll be into it for like a couple of days, and then it'll get put into the cupboard, and I'll go on to something else. And I think music's the same. I play guitar. I've always been very into guitar, and I understand that more than any other instrument. But there was a stage where the band was sort of getting progressively more funky, if you like, dance-orientated. And we sort of thought, well, how can we sort of take that a step further? And congas came to mind. I thought, this is my chance to get in here and do some, express myself rhythmically as well as just melodically.
Yeah.
So I got the congas, slapped around for a little while, listened to records, and A-rated to the set. Then I thought, well, it'd be nice to get back to a melodic instrument, a note instrument, and go back into the guitar. But while I was sort of away for a little while, Gary had developed a style which was very much incorporating what I'd left behind, so he was filling in. So I thought, well, go for something else. And saxophone always appealed to me, so I bought home, practiced and whatever. I'm still practicing.
Well, I mean, you go up, I guess.
One day I'll learn it. I'll learn how to play it, yeah.
You don't think you learn already?
No, I don't practice enough.
You don't practice enough? Well, I mean, practicing even if you go into the concert is
exactly, yeah. That's the only practice we have.
Oh. That's good enough, since you're way about random gigs.
Yeah, I've never been one to sort of study scales and stuff. You know. On guitar, it sort of it came years ago, but, you know, it's sort of laborious work to sort of... It's no fun in that, you know. I'd rather just play with the band or whatever.
You know, I read one phrase, fashion for us is the most important thing, music can
That's an old quote, you know, that's never been really true. Fashion's not something you think about, it's just something you do. You know, you don't think about getting up and washing in the morning, it just happens, don't it? You put your clothes on, you go out and do your job or whatever. And that's how it is. It's been taken out of context, I think, fashion. It's just that with us, because we were in a band, there's plenty of other people dressing up in these weird clothes like we were doing 6 or 7 years ago. But because we're a media focus, that's exactly what happened. We sort of spearheaded a movement and became a focal point for that movement. And it was taken out of context. It's not that important in fashion, I don't think it is. It is important, but it's not important to us. It's something that you do. It's not something you think of at night, what can I do? Unless you're a designer or something, you know. You know, I think about music, I don't think about what I'm going to put on the next day, obviously.
Oh, in that sense. Well, and after that, after True, the band became more a rock band, as you would say. A rock band, and now we are Through the Barricades. And now we got Through the Barricades, we got the big concert, we got 8,000 people, we got Madrid, and different. You prefer this side of the band?
The large gig side?
Yeah.
It's obviously you want to play to as many people as possible, but I think I do miss that smaller venue. You know, although the 70s was very sort of staid as far as there were no bands that really broke down the hierarchy of bands that were there at the time. So you had bands such as Deep Purple, for want of another band, there was sort of a select group of bands that were there, and they sort of they run the show, so to speak. It was very hard to break into that, to get into that. And but there was a very healthy pub scene, which as a musician I used to go to quite a lot, just go to local pubs and